Welcome back, my fellow patriots, to the Save Our Republic Daily video series. We're still continuing our detour from the Constitution because of the day that it is. Yesterday we celebrated James Madison's birthday. Today we are celebrating St. Patrick's Day, but what it really should be known as is Evacuation Day. You've probably figured out, if you're watching the video series, that I'm dressed entirely differently. I do not have a patriotic bow tie on. I have one that's celebrating St. Patrick's Day. I do not have a blazer on. Instead, I have this really cool sweater vest that comes from Ireland, handmade there, and that is in part because I am partially Irish, and my family is very proud of its heritage, as everyone should be, and therefore I am proud to celebrate St. Patrick's Day / Evacuation Day, as everyone in the country should. Everyone is Irish on St. Patrick's Day, and everyone in America can celebrate Evacuation Day. I keep saying Evacuation Day. You might be saying, what the heck is that, Judge Warren? Well, it is the day in which the British evacuated Boston, and it was March 17th of 1776, and happens to correspond with St. Patrick's Day. I'm going to quote to you Hurley versus Irish American Gay, Lesbian, and Bisexual Group of Boston, Inc., a United States Supreme Court case issued in 1995 about the ability of certain people, the Irish American Gay, Lesbian, and Bisexual Group of Boston, to participate in the parade on Evacuation Day. And I'm not going to get into the merits of the case. I just want to quote you some of the context that the court gave the decision in order for people to understand why there's this big parade on March 17th in Boston. It says, quote, as early as 1737, some people in Boston observed the feast of the Apostle to Ireland, that would be St. Patrick's, and since 1776, the day has marked the evacuation of royal troops and loyalists from the city, prompted by the guns captured at Ticonderoga, and set up on Dorchester Heights under General Washington's command. Washington himself reportedly drew on the earlier tradition in choosing, quote, St. Patrick, unquote, as the response to, quote, Boston, unquote, the password used in the colonial lines on Evacuation Day. Although the General Court of Massachusetts did not officially designate March 17th as Evacuation Day until 1938, the City Council of Boston had previously sponsored public celebrations of Evacuation Day, including notable commemorations on the centennial in 1876 and on the 125th anniversary in 1901, with its parade, salute, concert, and fireworks display. So, you thought that today was all about Ireland and St. Patrick's and having an excuse to drink Guinness beer or some other kind of beer at a bar and sing some Gaelic songs, but really it is the celebration of a major victory in the American Revolution, in which we forced the regular soldiers of the Royal Army, as well as the loyalists that were supporting them, out of Boston and took control of that major metropolis, such as it was back in 1776. And this was extraordinarily important because it was indeed the hotbed of resistance to British oppression, along with some other pockets of resistance like Charleston and Connecticut. But the kind of the heart of the revolution was beating in Massachusetts, in particular in Boston. And when we were able to drive out the Empire's soldiers and the loyalists, because George Washington had flanked them with cannons that were taken from Fort Ticonderoga, which is an amazing story in itself. You could see that there was a pathway possibly for American victory in the Revolution, and that was extraordinarily important. So, while you're celebrating today, keep Evacuation Day in mind. Until next time, don't forget about America's Survival Guide at americasurvivalguide.com. Patriot Week at patriotweek.org, as well as the Patriot Lessons American History and Civics podcast. And by the way, if you like learning about holidays or other important commemorations and historical dates, the Patriot Lessons podcast, the American History and Civics, Patriot Lessons American History and Civics podcast, which you can find on Google and Apple and all those other places. We do have several episodes dedicated to days like Thanksgiving and other historical occasions. So check it out. God bless you, and God bless America and the Irish.